Good afternoon. I'm here with Dion Hunt. Dion Hunt is one of the facilitators at the Mental Life program here at the Dion?
St. John's Riverside Hospital.
Okay. Dion, I'd like to ask you, have you heard about the recent rash of violence in Oakland, California at the Oikos University?
Absolutely.
Do you think that the Man Alive program can tie in to a school setting as far as reducing violence that we're seeing on these college and high school campuses?
I'm a firm believer in addressing emotional stability. And what the R.S.V.P program does is it instructs individuals on how to identify and process their emotions. A lot of the issues that are going on in the schools, especially with the rash of shootings that are going on within our institutions and schools, is due to emotional instability. We have all kind of curriculum geared at teaching people all of the sciences, engineering, all the things of the higher learning. However, we don't have any schools that teach our citizens and our people about emotional stability, how to deal with their emotions, how to identify what it is they're feeling, and how to process that feeling.
Okay, do you think you can give us an example of a few emotions that, and define what those emotions are?
Well, the R.S.V.P program has what's called the 8 emotions, and the 8 emotions derive from the 2 vital emotions, and the vital emotions are anger and hurt and happy. Hurt has frontal emotions that go to it. Hurt, afraid, sad, and angry.
Okay.
So hurt being the vital emotion, sad, afraid, and angry being frontal emotions. On the other spectrum, we have happy. With happy, you also have frontal emotions, which are content, excited, and passionate, And what we do is we use these as our core emotions to allow people that go through the process of learning our manual to give them a basic idea of some alternatives to the 2 vital emotions, which are hurt and happy. And it allows them to get better in tune with what they're feeling.
Okay, so when you say that you give people the opportunity to learn the manual, are you saying that people don't know how to identify these emotions that are in the manual? I mean, what I mean is that I think it's pretty simple to me as a person who, who's looking from the outside to understand what sad and happy is and, hurt and angry. Is there a definite way of interpreting what those terms are in the Man Alive manual or the R.S.V.P manual?
Well, for me, my first experience with dealing with identifying emotions came from just a simple task of asking people how are they feeling. If you ask the average person how they're feeling, they would say things like, I'm all right, or I feel good. And I noticed, recognizing and acknowledge that good is not an emotion and all right is not an emotion. Mm-hmm. When you're able to label what it is you're feeling with a definitive answer, like I feel happy or I feel sad or I feel afraid, it gives you a greater ability to identify exactly what you were feeling at that time. And that's what we teach at the R.S.V.P. We teach getting in touch with what it is that you're feeling. We also teach that emotions are immediate and they can't be mediated, which means you feel what you feel. At whatever particular moment that you feel something, that emotion is what you feel. And you have to be able to identify it in order to be able to process it. First comes the identification, then comes the processing. Once you're able to process and identify your emotions, then it gives you the ability to control yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how the stimuli around you affects you. Why is it that you feel this way about what somebody said or what somebody did? And once you can identify a problem or a situation, it gives you the ability to cope with it in a realistic terms.
Okay, so would you say that in academia that they fail a student by not assisting them with the identification of these emotions?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, a lot of our institutions of higher learning leave emotional stability to either the therapist or the parents. You know, and in our society nowadays, both parents are usually working. So a lot of the parents are working. They don't have time to sit down with their children and instruct them about how to identify and deal with their emotions, you know, because they're caught up in careers and, you know, so the structure of the family has changed so much over the years that, you know, we are not really instructing our children on coping with their emotions. So what happens is, you know, they turn the emotions that they're feeling into the two vital emotions, which are happy or angry, and they can't identify with anything other than those two basic vital emotions.
Okay, now getting back to one Elgon, the nursing student at the Oikos University, do you think that had he been in a program like the Man Alive program, that the outcome of that situation would have been different?
Well, in that instance, I would have to speculate. Okay. I don't know whether or not his reaction will be different.
Okay, well,
however, I do know that when you have a basis or a principle and a curriculum that's an applied science and is shown to reap positive benefits, and you apply that to any curriculum as based on the sciences, and you like teaching a person how to be an engineer. After you've instructed a person on how to be an engineer, then they know how to build. They know how to construct a machine. They know how to construct a device that'll work based on those principles. And emotional principles can be also constructed in the same manner through the curriculum.
And you know this because you have college experience yourself, correct?
Absolutely. I've been at the college, you understand what I'm saying? And I've also participated in this program, the R.S.V.P program. And I can tell you now that, you know, as an individual that's violent himself, it has definitely taught me how to cope with my violence, how to fade my hitman. Hitman is a term that we use to identify the persona that we go into when we perpetrate our violence. It has taught me how to cope with that, and I haven't committed a violent act, an actual act of violence, physical violence, in years.
So the program has worked for you?
It's worked for me. It's changed my life.
Have you seen other people that it's worked for as well?
Of course, I've seen many men go through the curriculum of the R.S.V.P program and come out of it like new men.
Can you give me some type of numbers where you can say, as far as the recidivist rate for people that have been in the Man Alive program that have either reoffended for violence and not reoffended? Do you know of any?
Based on the research from Westchester County's DOC, 72% of the individuals that participate and successfully complete the R.S.V.P manual do not return to prison for up to 3 years, for at least 3 years.
Wow, I think that's a great outcome.
Definitely.
Dion, I appreciate the interview.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. And you have a good one. And hopefully we can do something to change outcomes.
Absolutely. I think that this program, you know, it should be really put into a lot of, you know, educational curriculums. We need to start addressing the emotional content of our children so that we don't have repeat incidences of this violence. And it's going on. I mean, we have Columbine, we have Virginia Tech, and here we have this latest thing in Oakland. You know, we have to start teaching, and as a society, we have to teach our kids to deal with their emotions because it's going to help them to cope with some of the things that they're going to encounter in life.
Okay, thank you, Dion.